What's up everyone, Dustin Jones here in the S3 Racing shop, where right now we're wrapping up our brand new race car that nobody's seen. But we got the full interior put in here, we've got the PRP seats in it and everything, and now we're gonna set up our harnesses in my race car the way that I like them. So I'm gonna walk you through the steps of how to set up your 5-point harnesses in your trail riding car, your race car, whatever. This one's specifically for me to race out of, so I'm really particular how we set them up in this race car. And for my harnesses, I'm starting with the PRP 2-inch 5-point harnesses. And the reason I did the 2-inch is I also wear a Hans device while I'm racing. And it seems like with the 3-inch, it's a little too wide to fit down in the Hans device. So I like to go with a 2-inch strap that fits in the Hans device, but I also go for the padded ones because on our long races, like I've found that these will rub your neck raw if you don't go with the padded ones. So outside of that, we went with the eyelet and hook style, so they're easy connect, disconnect, and this will make it a whole lot easier to get your belts in and out of the car. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I put the adjusting buckle, whatever you call this thing, I go ahead and put that on there, run it through my eyelet, and then I just run the strap through the buckle one time. Now this will make it easy to adjust in and out so that I can get it set before I do my final tighten. I also like to pull the buckle pretty close down to my pads so that I can easily get to it even whenever it's hooked behind my seat. So I got this set in here. I'm gonna go ahead and lock it onto the eyelet, climb into the car, and start making adjustments on my shoulder strap. So let's lock this thing on. All right, so once I get into my car, first thing I wanna do is set up my shoulder harnesses. And keep in mind, I'm gonna have a Hans device up here, so I don't want the pad getting up into my Hans device, so I want the thin part of the belt up there. But whenever you sit in here and then you pull your harnesses down, they also suck down. And I don't want this thing to go too far because you run out of adjustment down here on this end. So what I like to do is get it adjusted to where my pad is all the way up by like on my collarbone, like just right above my collarbone is where I like it to be in a relaxed position. So to get that adjusted, that's why I left this easy to move. You literally can just grab this strap and pull it until I get it set up there by my collarbone. Other side, same thing. Got the buckle down there, the strap pulled through it one time, pull it so I can get it up there by my collarbone. I'm really OCD, so I like to make sure they're exactly the same on both sides. And it takes a little bit of adjustment here and there. Once you get it perfect, just like you want it, same on both sides, up here by your collarbone, you're good. And like I said, when I hook my waist straps and pull it tight, these are gonna suck down against me a little bit and pull and leave room for my Hans up here. So now that I got the height adjusted right, just above my collarbones, now I can pop them back off the eyelets, weave them through there, and be done with the shoulder straps. This is a big reason I like these PRP clip style that go into the eyelet, because it just pops right off of there. Instead of having to weave it around the bar and it's really kind of difficult to get them dialed in, I just pop them loose. So originally I had the buckle all the way down here. Now I want to slide it up as far away from there as I can. Super easy because I've only got it weaved through there one time. As you just grab the buckle, slide it all the way up to the top, way up by your clip. Then you take your little extra slack where you only had it weaved through one time, run it through there, boom. Now it's all the way tight. But for extra safety and for race requirements, I like to take this extra lead and run it back through there one more time just to make sure there's no possible way these belts can loosen up no matter how many miles of riding that you're doing. So pull it back through there, boom, clip this extra off, burn it, and bam, you're done with your shoulder belts. So the next one to set is the crotch strap, which is also really important for comfortability over a long race. So I did the same way. I weaved it through there, ran it through one time. Now I can set the distance. Where I'm typically trying to target is just below my belly button and just above your buckle. So kind of where your front button on your pants would be, because you don't want it to ride up too high, because then your straps get up here on your stomach, and you don't want to ride in too low because it's super uncomfortable on long races. So just right below your belly button. Now for your hip straps, they got full adjustment. You don't have to put them anywhere particular except bolted to the floor, bolted to the seat, and then Once you get everything adjusted, boom, slap it together. I went with these PRP cam locks just because they're super easy in a race. If you have to jump out to change a tire or do anything, they literally just stab in there, boom, lock in. Now, when you grab your shoulder straps and you tighten them down, if you run out of adjustment here, that means you need to back this up a little bit. So, as you can see, I set them on my shoulders. Now that I pull them down, they're already a little past my collarbone. So I could go back up with these a little bit if I wanted to, but I've got adjustment. I'm sitting here tight. This is where I like them. Ultimately, you want to be comfortable in the car and make sure nothing is rubbing, but you also want to be safe. That's why we double our belts back through our buckles whenever we finish up. So that's the way that we set up 5-point harnesses here at S3.